Alright, here we are for round 1 of the Legacy Daily. This hand looks reasonable. I mean, it's not super exciting, but I think it's a keep, so we'll keep it. Tundra. Most matchups where they lead off with Tundra are not actually that good for me. I'm thinking at this point it's probably Miracles, just because it's a very popular deck online. I'm going to go ahead and lead with the Mutavault. Oh, you know what? I should have actually played the Misty to be able to daze if he had Spell Pierce or something like that, but didn't come back to bite us yet. That's a pretty reasonable draw. I don't think we really want to get Swords to Plowshare here. I think we're just going to go ahead and cast a Predatory Sliver at the moment. Just leaving Daze and Forcible up for anything that he might have. At this point, like I said, I think he's playing Miracles, but he could easily be playing some kind of a Stoneblade deck. Or something else entirely. Mutavault is pretty good in this matchup, but also we really don't want to play into like an instant speed Terminus. So right now, if he were to go for a Terminus, he would have to Brainstorm into it. So I actually like getting in with Mutavault this turn. Basic land, another good indication that it's probably Miracles. Yeah, we're just gonna try to daze this. And we have what? So 5 plus, yeah, so we're swinging in for lethal this turn, so we should be good to go here. Especially since we don't even have to cast any spells to make it lethal, so. This matchup can be a bit tough, but we definitely have the tools to win it, as you can see there. For sideboarding, these Swords to Plowshares are pretty bad, assuming that we are correct and that he's playing Miracles. Harmonic Slivers pretty good here. Gadok also pretty strong. I like setting in the Karakas here, just because they're not playing Wasteland anyway, and it's nice to be able to bounce our Gadok, and sometimes we can bounce their Bencers or Vindaloo Clicks in a pinch to just get in the last few points of damage. I also really like Envelop. This is pretty much the matchup that it's actually for. Good 1 mana answer to Terminus or Entreat the Angels, or any number of things that they play. Flusterstorm and Spell Piercer are also pretty good. What don't we like in this matchup? Well, we're definitely going to cut a land for the Karakas, so it's probably a Savannah there. And probably just shave the numbers on days and, well, On the draw, Daze is pretty bad, so probably just take out 2 Dazes. On the play, we'll probably switch that up to like 1 Daze and 1 Force of Will out. I like to keep in a lot of Force of Wills against this deck just because Terminus is such a powerful spell that we need to counter most of the time. Starting up for game 2, I assume. Yeah, our opponent chose to be on the play. And this hand's pretty good, yeah. We definitely like this hand. Nice little turn 1 Aether Vial. Hopefully that doesn't get spell pierced, but we're not super sad about it if it does. Yeah, I doubt if he'd even keep in spell pierces against us, honestly. And it looks like he may be on no white mana. Should be rather interesting. He also didn't play like a counterbalance or anything. If he has Blood Moon or something coming down, we're not super concerned about that. It does turn off our Brainstorm and our Envelop, but it's not really that big of a deal. Since we do have the Aether Vial to cast all of our, or to put into play all of our Slivers. And yeah, we're just gonna start the beat down here. Yeah, him not having any white mana is pretty good for us. I mean, he does have a stop on his draw step. It's another pretty good indication that he's playing Miracles. So right now, until now, we didn't really have to worry about Terminus or anything like that. So that was pretty good for us. Jace. And we're gonna go ahead and Brainstorm here. Nothing too exciting off the Brainstorm. We'll just go ahead and put back one of our Muscle Slivers in a land. He's probably going to Brainstorm here, I think. I think he drew a Terminus the other turn because he had a brief stop on his draw step. We do have the Envelop for it, but there's also a good chance that he'll have some way to back that up, so we don't really want to get too aggressive with our creatures. Probably cast the Gale Rider because it's just not that big of a deal. Definitely want to kill the Jace. And we'll decide based on what happens this turn whether we really want to... you know what, we're actually not going to play the Gale Rider because I want to be able to beat his Spell Pierce if that's all he's got. So we're just going to go ahead and attack 1 at Jace and 1 at him. And then vial in another Muscle Sliver since we have so many. We are presenting lethal. Like I said, there's the Terminus, which we expected. We'll see if this Envelop is good enough. Best guess is, I mean, I don't think he has Force Will, but he probably does have Counterspell. Oh, well, that was pretty fortunate for us. Now he's going to have to try to dig his way into some kind of an out here. Yeah, we're going to correct this here because we'd rather draw like a Force of Will or something rather than the Muscle Sliver. Looks like he's probably got Swords to Plowshares. Be my guess. Which means he's definitely not taking lethal this turn. Well, hold on. So if we play 1, that would be 8, 10. We could get in for 10, which is not 11, unfortunately. He's used 1 Terminus already. I think we're going to try to play this Aether Vial just to see what he has on top of the deck. Don't really care if the Aether Vial resolves. Yeah, he's got Pyroblast on top of the deck, which is fine. That doesn't really do anything here. So we're definitely going to attack with both of these and also Violin one. We know he's not drawing Terminus next turn, so that's pretty good, and bringing him down to 3 is substantial with us already having a Muscle Sliver and a Gale Rider in hand. Riptide Laboratory. Yeah, at this point he's probably grasping at straws. I mean, he has to have like Brainstorm into Terminus or something to that effect. Snapcaster Mage. Okay, that's fine. So Snapcasters, Swords to Plowshares. Sets up a block, probably. I mean, even if he Swords to Plowshares here, he's still taking lethal, so there's really no reason for us to take action here until he gives us a reason to. Okay, another Swords to Plowshares. It's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and Violin another Muscle Sliver just to keep our current Muscle Sliver alive. And then we're going to Wasteland his Riptide Laboratory. So we know the last card in his hand is Pyroblast. He has no knowledge of the top of his deck, so I think we're probably likely to win this game. Brainstorm was a pretty good draw there. Yeah, but we did take the match. Like I said, I do actually believe this is one of our tougher matchups. He has a little bit of an interesting build here. We don't usually see the Riptide Laboratory anymore. But, I mean, it's got all the usual suspects, Counterbalance and Terminus in that. I mean, you can see how just an early clock backed up by, you know, Aether Vial and like a little bit of counter magic can go such a long way in this matchup. So, all right, and we will be back for round 2.